in the hash graph, in the detailed examples, we're looking often at packets, or could you also call it a payload that's going with that packet? How would you describe that?
You have an event
Yeah.
that contains a payload, which is a list of transactions.
Gotcha.
And then it has 2 hashes, and then probably you want to put in a timestamp and a signature.
Perfect. So my terminology is off, but could you please explain the contents of a packet, including the payload and sort of everything that's sort of in that packet or in that event?
Yes. An event is the message that we're passing around and that we're gossiping.
Yes.
An event will contain 2 hashes. One is the hash of the last event I created, and if I just gossiped with you, the other one is if you just told me everything you know, is the hash of the last event that you gave me, or that you created, and that will also be the last one you gave me. So 2 hashes, and then you'll want to put in a timestamp, which is just what your computer says, and if you're an honest person, it's more or less right, and if you're dishonest, it's 1,000,000 years in the future or the past. We take that into account. And then you will digitally sign it. So nobody can forge packets, nobody can change it. By the way, if you've digitally signed it, nobody can change your packet. And then your packet contains 2 hashes. If they're good cryptographic hashes, nobody can change what they link to. And then those are signed and have hashes, and you get a whole tree, and then the whole history is locked in. So if you have one, the whole tree is locked in. And you know, Merkle trees and directed acyclic graphs with hashes, Git uses something like that for that very reason. Okay, so the event has the 2 hashes, the timestamp, the digital signature, and then it has a payload inside of it. You can have it empty, or you can put some transactions in it. So an event is like a block, and the block could be empty, but the block could also have transactions in it, and you can put as many transactions as you want. It's kind of interesting. There's some advantages to having lots of transactions, but you don't really have to pack it too full, because if you're dealing with a system where the whole planet creates 1 block every 10 minutes, you really care about how many transactions you can pack into that block. But I'm talking about a system where the equivalent of miners and blocks, it's as if you had every miner creating 10 blocks a second, all by themselves. No block is ever lost. None is ever discarded. The whole world gets every block within just a few milliseconds of it being created, or nanoseconds, or whatever, hours if we're doing a sneaker net system. The whole system is nothing. It's totally efficient. Nothing is thrown away, and every miner is creating 10 blocks a second. And when you're creating 10 blocks a second all by yourself, you don't really have to pack a whole lot of events into them or a whole lot of transactions into them. And so that's what an event is. It's the transactions, basically the transactions that one miner received in the last 10th of a second, and then 2 hashes and timestamp, and then the whole thing is digitally signed.
And to just clarify, maybe it's more my confusion, but the
Yes.
packet and the event is one and the same, or can you just clarify?
Packet is not a term I ever use,
Where
but
did that come from?
I do not know.
Okay, that was just written down here. Okay.
Okay.
So it's an event.
An event, yes.
That's the terminology.
That's right.
Gotcha.
Packets used in internet technology for TCP/IP, but that's
Yes.
not at all what we're talking about here.
Right, during a DDoS attack, you're sending many packets.
Yes. Yes, there I would use the word packet,
Gotcha.
because what they're doing is they're sending TCP/IP